Welcome to the Instagram stories for Wednesday, July 2nd. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. There is a lot of social media news to talk about today, including the fact that Threads now has a separate DM inbox, which is probably available to you if you update your app. President Trump has also gone on record to say that he has a US buyer for TikTok. TikTok at the same time is cutting staff in its shop section of the app. And we'll talk about a new Instagram feature to allow you to share what you're listening to on Spotify all the time. Additionally, the YouTube team has some new updates that they're working on, including an AI-powered search that's only available to premium members. After all that, I will do Wednesday Waffle, which is where I talk about a topic that may or may not be related to social media. And in this case, I'm going to be sharing a story that you might like. All of that and more on today's episode. But first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's start with the biggest news of the day, which comes from the Threads team, who have posted on Threads, quote, introducing DMs. We're making it easier to continue your conversations one-on-one right here in the app, end quote. Then they explain some things about DMs on Threads that you might not be aware of. The Threads team explains, quote, once you have DMs, you'll see the envelope icon at the bottom of your screen. Tap it to open your Threads inbox. You'll see all your messages in one place there. Start a one-on-one conversation by tapping the compose button at the top right and searching for the person you want to DM. End quote. Here's the interesting part, which I wasn't aware of, but I think it's very key to know, and I think it makes for an interesting twist on DMs on Threads. Quote, you can message people on Threads if they follow you here or if you follow one another on Instagram. End quote. I think this is interesting because if you don't really have someone who is engaging with you on Threads, but you have a relationship on Instagram, you can leverage that relationship in order to start a conversation on Threads, and maybe they will follow you. The Threads post continues, quote, to DM a post you see on Threads, tap the share button beneath it, then search for the person you want to message. Add a message if you'd like, then tap the paper airplane icon to keep the conversation going one-on-one. A few more things to know about messaging on Threads. It's mobile only to start. If you're 18 and over, it's available in most countries. It's protected by our privacy standards and safety measures. Group messaging will come later. It's one-on-one for now. We'll also be adding inbox filters and controls over who can message you. If you've enabled push notifications, you'll get an alert when someone DMs you. Finally, you can block or mute a conversation by tapping on the three-dot menu within a message, and we're exploring other ways to give you more control over who can message you. Threads is all about sharing perspectives with your community, and now you can take the conversation further one-on-one, end quote. I will link to this thread so you can see the entire thing and look at the screenshots. I do have the DM inbox on my Threads app. Once I updated it appeared, but because it is mobile only, it's not available on web. So I think that's a little bit interesting. You need to make sure that you are using the mobile app regularly if you're DMing with people on Threads to make sure you don't miss any messages. Let's move on to the TikTok news. President Trump told Fox News Sunday Morning Futures program that, quote, we have a buyer for TikTok, by the way. I think I'll probably need China approval, and I think President Xi will probably do it, end quote. President Trump went on to say that he'll have more to share on the deal in, quote, about 2 weeks, end quote. I will, of course, keep you posted on that. In other TikTok news, Bloomberg News is reporting that TikTok is cutting more workers from its U.S. e-commerce division, TikTok Shop, the third round of layoffs for that team since April. A spokesperson for TikTok said, quote, as the TikTok Shop business evolves, we regularly review our operations to ensure long-term success. We've made the difficult decision to adjust parts of our team to better align with strategic priorities, end quote. This news is a bit confusing because TikTok has repeatedly noted that U.S. sales are rising, with the app reporting a 3x increase in sales on Black Friday last year. For the entire year of 2024, TikTok reportedly generated around $30 billion, up significantly from what was achieved in 2023. Okay, that is going to do it for the TikTok news. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some updates from the YouTube team, including a new AI search for premium users, which I think is a very cool feature. Stick around. Welcome back. Let's continue with the YouTube news. This is directly from the Creator Insider team at YouTube. Here's Lauren.
What's up, Insiders? I'm Lauren, a program manager working on our product team here at YouTube and the producer of Creator Insider. We're introducing deeper audience insights to help creators understand their viewers beyond just new and returning. Creators will now be able to see granular segmentation based on long-term viewer behavior, including new, casual, and regular viewers. The goal is to help creators build better content strategies and grow their audience. Let's get into specifics. The returning viewers metric is being replaced with more detailed categories, casual and regular viewers. Casual viewers are those who've been watching occasionally for a while, specifically between 1 and 5 months in the last 12 months. And regular viewers are those who've been watching consistently for a while, specifically for 6 or more months in the last 12 months. These new categories provide a more nuanced understanding of viewer engagement and are not a direct equivalent of the previous returning viewers metric. There aren't any changes to the new viewers metric. We'll continue to define new viewers as those who've watched for the first time in the selected time period. The new audience segmentation will apply to any engaged views, including shorts, VOD, and live. We want to explicitly call out that some channels may see a lower percentage of regular viewers than they might expect. Why? Regular viewers is a high bar to reach, as it signifies viewers who have consistently returned to watch your content for 6 months or more in the past year. This consistent viewership often requires creators to publish content regularly and maintain a strong connection with their audience. To help with this, we recommend community-building strategies via posts, comments, live premieres and chats, and brand consistency. This is beginning to launch to all creators globally on desktop and mobile. Let us know what you think. Moving on. Late last year, we talked about an experimental most relevant comment filter with the goal of helping you more easily find and engage with important comments. We're happy to announce that we're now launching this filter to all creators for channel-wide as well as content-level comments. Next, a few weeks ago, we talked about an experimental leaderboard for top fans of classic and immersive live streams. If you missed it, viewers earn points for engaging with streams, and the goal is to reward fan engagement and strengthen community interaction during live streams. There's a cap on the number of points that can be earned from live chat messages. Also, depending on the user's country or region, the daily and weekly purchase limit will vary. We're happy to announce that based on positive feedback, we're launching this to all creators. Viewers will be auto-enrolled in the leaderboard and will have the option to opt out in YouTube settings on desktop or mobile. Moving on. In April, we began testing a new AI-powered carousel of results that appear when you search certain queries on YouTube. Now, YouTube Premium members in the US can try out this feature at youtube.com/new. When a premium user searches for queries related to shopping, places, or things to do in a specific location, the carousel will populate relevant videos with brief topic descriptions on the results page. The goal is to help users quickly discover videos and topics related to their query and provides a new way for creators to be discovered by viewers who might not have found them otherwise. And that's it for this week. From the creators of YouTube to YouTube creators, we'll see you next week.
As always, I love what the YouTube team is doing. I think they are very interested in providing real-world information to creators and helping them to make better choices while also thinking about the user experience. Hats off to the YouTube team. That is going to do it for today's episode for news. If you want to hear me talk about another topic, stick around after the music.
Instagram news got you covered, sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, thanks for sticking around to hear me talk about something else. Okay, so a little bit of background. I grew up in a town in northern New Jersey called Ridgewood. And in middle school, I had a teacher named Mr. Stroker. I had him for gym and health class. And then I had him again in high school for gym. And he was a very motivational kind of guy. He would tell you to dig deep and find out what you're really made of and push beyond your limits. He was very inspirational as a whole. I actually didn't know, but a couple of years before I had Mr. Stroker for health and gym, his family was actually part of a horrible car accident where his daughter was 2 years old and was paralyzed from the waist down, and his son had a traumatic brain injury. You've probably never heard of Mr. Stroker. Why would you? But you may have heard of his daughter because despite being paralyzed at a very young age, she went on to accomplish really huge things. She starred in a Broadway musical and actually won the Tony for Best Actress in 2019 when she starred in the musical Oklahoma. She was the first handicapped actress to ever win a Tony, which was a huge deal. And I recently listened to a podcast with Mr. Stroker. It's funny because the interviewer was actually a old boss I had in high school, his wife. It was my first office job. Long story, unrelated. But in this podcast interview, Mr. Stroker told a really interesting part of his daughter's story that I've never heard before. You're going to like it.
Is we buy the house down Long Beach Island, and then for no apparent reason, next door to us is this homeowner, and their names are called the Antonoffs. And we're like, we have no idea who this is. We just bought a house. Well, their youngest child, Sarah, is at the time about 6, and the oldest living girl with this brain tumor that's going to take her life at any time. But she's still alive. She's been able to, and she's got this brain tumor. So she and Allie get like this.
Oh.
They become like best friends, right? And one summer, Rachel, her older sister, goes to theater camp, comes home at the end of theater camp, and says, "Hey, I'm going to do a show here. We need some people." And of course, Allie raises her hand. She tries out for the show, and Rachel, casts her as Annie in her first show. Now, her brother is Jack. Jack is kind of famous. He's the songwriter for Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And as
he did okay, as they say.
He's done a million things. And the great band Fun, he's now in the band Bleachers. But Jack is the brother.
Wow.
So Jack, like Sarah dies the summer after. Jack spends all summer on the porch playing his guitar and singing songs about Sarah. Reasons happen. Blah, blah, blah. So Allie rolls out onto the stage to get her Tony Award in this yellow dress.
Yes.
That's like, and of course, Rachel, who's now a dress designer, made that dress. So,
okay, I'm going to stop it there. But I just really liked that story in the connections, how Allie got started acting, the connections between people and the end result. You never know what happens as a result of relationships you make, friendships, things you decide to work on together that sound fun, and where that can go. If you want to listen to the rest of the interview, I will link to it in the show notes. As always, thank you so much for listening to me talk about a slightly different topic for a little while.